Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. This particular presentation, this particular teaching, if we will, brothers and sisters, is to help us understand how Hebrew works when speaking one to another. The grammar matter in the language is a very important factor. The matter of who is speaking, the matter of who is being spoken to, and the matter of what is being spoken on is very important for us in order to be able to converse in Hebrew. I want to thank on a human level the people who subscribe to this channel. I want to thank on a human level the people who subscribe to the other channel, Mora Yeshaya Hebrew Lessons. And those lessons on YouTube goes all the way from Aleph Bet Gamel, all the way to how the stems work under the aspect as far as the Hipa'el stem is concerned. So subscribe to that channel, Mora Yeshaya Hebrew Lessons, as well as this channel here. Giving honor to the Most High. This Hebrew class, presented on 2/27/2021, will be a conclusion of how to deal with singular pronouns and the conjugation of verbs in the singular, both masculine and feminine. We want to, brothers and sisters, do a weekly Hebrew class so that way people can attend it, see how Hebrew works, and so forth and so on. So what we want to emphasize in this particular part here is the word singular, as well, brothers and sisters, as these words here, masculine and feminine. All right. So brothers and sisters, concerning this kind of matter, let us, because I would like to invite a couple of people very briefly into this. And if you have any questions or comments, please, brothers and sisters, do not hesitate to state it inside of the comment section. All right? Let us do so. All righty, brothers and sisters, let's go on. Toda for the time. Geberet Imaniya, Hebrew thereof. Now, this person here actually was a friend of my imam. For those who do know, my imam is deceased. Periodically, I ask people, believe it or not, some say yes, some say no, about if I can speak of them or feature them also inside of a Hebrew presentation. I've done this in the past with Imam Tamikia. I've done this in the past with Gared Miriam. These are people that I knew from when I was a child growing up in the house of Yisrael. So, Imaniya, the word itself means Yah is faithful or faithful in Yah. Imani, meaning my faithfulness is Yah. Yah is my faithfulness. That is, in a nutshell, basically what that means. All right, here we have Amen. The word Amen, brothers and sisters, it comes from the root word Aman, which means to agree. All right, so just want to show that for reference purposes. Then we have Emuna. Emuna means loyalty or faithful. All right, so just want to show that in that particular case. The word Achot means sister, like a relative. All right, the word Akoti means my sister, as in a relative matter. And then the word Achiot means sisters, as in reference brothers and sisters with more than one relative. Then Yotai means my sisters. Now, why did I want to go over this? Is because we want to show, brothers and sisters, in this particular case, please, All right. We want to show that in the yellow, and then we want to show this here, if we will, all right, in the yellow. Many times in Israel, we have it to where Israelites are speaking of their sister, and they would say, my akot. We want to know and understand how to show the possessive aspect of saying my sister in Hebrew itself, which is the word akoti. Okay, many times in Israel, you have it to where many people have stated my akots or my akotis or koti without saying koti. Brothers and sisters, we want to, in this particular case, show how correctly these kind of matters are to be presented. You have the word here akyot. The word akyot is the plural of the word akot. All right, akot meaning sister, akyot meaning sisters, akyotai meaning my sisters. So we want to show this here, if we will, bavakwasha in the yellow, and show this here in the yellow in this particular case. All right, so you have akot sister, then you have akoti, my sister. It is not just koti, and it is not my akots. All right, because the letter S in English does not serve as a plural within Hebrew. There is a way to pluralize a matter in the Hebrew language itself. All right, so when we do the video in the past that is called Hebrew Stands on Its Own Merit, those are the kind of things when you subscribe to the channel, More Yeshaya Hebrew Lessons, that lesson is on there showing that particular case. Then you have here the word akyot, meaning sisters, and akyotai, meaning my sisters. So we want to point out whether you're a male or a female, if you're saying my sister, you still say akoti. If you're a male or a female and you're saying my sisters, you still say akyotai. All right. So we want to emphasize that regarding the masculine and the feminine in this particular case. Let us, brothers and sisters, go on in the next part. All right. My fault for that. Simple possessions. Here we have, okay, the word emuna, as we had shown before. So you have the aleph with the segol, the moon, the mem, the u sound, and the noon with the ah. Emuna. Emuna, as we pointed out in the past, means faithful or loyal. All right. So you have the aleph and the mem, and we want to show that, if you will, in the yellow. All right. Brothers and sisters. And then we have the noon that we too would like to show in the yellow. Now, what is the point in that? Is so we can begin to see and show how you still got the aleph, the mem, and the noon, and how that aman or amen is still in there in that particular case. All right. So let us continue on. Then you have emunati. You have the aleph and the mem, and we're going to show that in the yellow. All right. And then you have, brothers and sisters, the noon. See, certain things in Hebrew, when we're showing it, the root of something in many cases does not drop in Hebrew. All right. So let's go back here, if we will. We have here the word amen, and we're going to, all right, highlight this particular case and show that in the green. Make that a little darker. Sorry about that. In the blue there, if we will. Amen. Simply said in many cases in English is amen, right? But this comes from the root word aman, brothers and sisters, which means to agree. So, brothers and sisters, in that particular case, when you say ani amen, ani omen, if you're showing it in the present tense, you're saying that you agree to something. That is how that works in that particular case. All right. So that aleph, that mem, and that noon is still shown in this particular case here and in this particular aspect. All right. Then you have nah-ara. Nah-ara. Brothers and sisters means girl. All right. So now, if we take this right here and we have the ah sound followed by the hey, that shows it in many, many cases for it to be what we know and understand as the feminine. So na'ara, brothers and sisters, means girl. Okay? Na'arati, all right, means my girl. Now, when it says girl in this, it's talking about like your child, your niece, because we're talking about a female that is like 19 or younger or so. In this particular case, if we will. All right. And we want to show this again, told out for the time, within the red of itself. And we want to show this T part here, Silika. Silika about that. All right, let's move on. You have the na'arati, if we will, right? That all right. This T right here shows the matter of a possessive matter, meaning my whatever in many cases. So na'ara, all right, meaning girl, we have na'arati. And due to the situation that happened a while ago, we just want to focus on that one. All right. And let us move on in that particular case. Okay. Na'ara, girl, na'arati, my girl. Now, what do we want to emphasize? You have here, brothers and sisters, right? The letter hey. And here we have the letter tau. So both of these, the letter hey and the letter tau, brothers and sisters, serve as feminine letters. When you show the possessive of a matter, of a feminine word, the hey becomes a tau. The hey becomes a tau. All right. So that's something we want to show in that particular case. All right. Let's go on, if you will, to the next part. Verbs, masculine, singular, and the correct pronouns for them. The pronouns we see are here. All right. We have the word ani, and we want to show that in red. You have the word ata. We want to show that in like mustard yellow. And we want to show who, brothers and sisters, and we can show that in the green. So what are we looking at in this particular case? Ani means I or I am. Ata means you or you are. Who means he or he is, if you remember the lesson from last week. These are pronouns, brothers and sisters, that we must know in order to be able to understand something. Now, in these kind of classes, I suggest people to have their own pen, pad, pencil, paper, all right? Because regardless of whether it is written inside the PowerPoint presentation or whether or not it is stated, it holds the same amount of serious value. It holds the same amount of it not being just to be stated or written for just any given reason. All right. So let us understand that. So ani means I or I am. Here we have the word here, kotab. All right. The word kotab, we want to emphasize here is the masculine singular. We want to underline that. Masculine singular pronouns. All right. Then we have the word roe. And we're going to bold part that. Then we have the word notain, and we're going to bold part that. And then we have the word lo made, and we want to bold part that particular case. Now, what are we looking at, brothers and sisters, in this particular matter? Kotab means writing. Ro'eh means seeing. Notain means giving. Lo made means studying. So these pronouns now we see on the right-hand side is just to be shown how does it work. Ani kotab, I am writing. Ata kotab, you are writing. Those are whole sentences, brothers and sisters. All right. Who kotab, he is writing. Ani roe, I see. Ata roe, you see. Who ro'e. He sees. All right. Ani notain. I am giving. Ata notain. You are giving. Hu notain. He is giving. Then we have again here lomaid, studying. So ani lomaid, ata lomaid, hu lomaid. So that's why I'm emphasizing, and I'm going to state what the English is of the verbs again. Kotab, writing. Ro'e, seeing. Notain, giving. Lomaid, studying. So we can begin to see how important these particular matters are once it comes down to that. So you can sit there and say, okay, I see Koteb, and then you can write the word writing. So that's why we want to emphasize have people having their own pen, pencil, and paper, and so forth and so on. So you can take notes, or if you have any questions, you can feel free to type inside the comment board as well. All right, so we just want to emphasize that for reasoning purposes. Let us go on, if you will, to the next part. Toda Rabbah. Here we have verbs, feminine singular, and the correct pronouns for them. All right. We have the word here, kotebet. All right. But we want to bold part this and then show it in the yellow. We have the word here, ro'ah. We want to, brothers and sisters, all right, bold part this and show it in the yellow. Then we want to show this here, bold part it, and show it in the yellow. And again, this one right here, bold part this and show it in the yellow. So what are we doing in this particular case? All right. You have the word here, ko tebet, ro'ah, no tenet, lo medet. So what does this mean? Writing, seeing, giving, studying. So brothers and sisters, whether you're saying it as koteb or kotebet, both of them mean writing. The distinction between saying koteb is that's masculine, if we will, right? Want to bold part that. And this one here, kotebet, is the feminine singular, if we will. So these are things, brothers and sisters, we want to show about this particular matter. You have ani, at, and he. Ani, be it the masculine, or ani, feminine, both mean I or I am. So if you remember earlier when we said who is speaking, who is being spoken to, and what is being spoken about. All right. What is being spoken about is writing. Who is speaking in this particular case is a female, ani, kotebet. A female would not say correctly ani koteb. A male would not say correctly ani kotebet. All right. So, nonetheless, if a male or a female is speaking to a female, he or she will say to her, at kotebet, at ro'ah, at notenet, he ro'ah. All right. So, this right here, at, and we want to show this, if we will, in that particular blue case. All right. And this becomes very important regarding the matter of conversing one with another in a language. All right. That is the second person singular. This, brothers and sisters, we want to show is the third person feminine singular. All of this is treated in the feminine. All right. So somebody typed in Shabbat Shalom More. Same to you, my brother. Shabbat Shalom Lakah. All right. So let's say if I'm speaking to a female, right, and I'm saying you see, I would say at ro'ah. We want to emphasize what these words mean as well. Kotebet, writing. Ro'ah, seeing. Notenet, giving. Lomedet, studying. All right. So let us go on before we review and then close out. Two prepositions that must be known. Now, this you can see here is Hebrews Easy Volume 2. All right. For those who are interested in that. The word lakah means to or for you. All right. This here, lak means to you or for you. So what is the difference? Laka is to the male. Laka to the male, lak to the female. So if I were to say, brothers and sisters, right, as a male, ani kotabe, lak, I am writing to you. If I were to be speaking, brothers and sisters, to a female, I would say, ani notain lak, I am giving to you. If a female is speaking to a male, she would say, brothers and sisters, following the understanding of this here, right? Ani notenet laka. I am giving to you. So these are things we want to know for edification purposes. Knowing these kind of pronouns, knowing these kind of verbs, and understanding these prepositions is very, very important once it comes down to the understanding of speaking Hebrew and conversing in it. This is very extremely vital, if I can even say that in English. Very extremely vital, because without this understanding about about the verbs, simple verbs, pronouns, and the aspect of prepositions such as to you, such as laka to a male or lak to a female, you're not going to be able to speak one to another in conversing. That's why this becomes very important. Let's go on, if we will. The pronouns which go at the end of a sentence. These are all singular. OT, meaning me, either for male or a female. Otka, meaning you, when speaking to a male. Otak, meaning you, when speaking to a female. Oto, meaning him. Otah, meaning her. Shalom, giving honor to the creator of heaven and earth. This short presentation was to address how the pronouns, both subject and object pronouns, this too was to address how the verbs are conjugated in the future tense, or singular, and in the masculine or feminine. I ask if one cares to subscribe to the channel, More Yeshaya Hebrew Lessons. To the people who bought the book or books, thank you. Remember, Hebrew is easy. So let us look at this, brothers and sisters, all right, and show what we're talking about. All right, and then we're going to close out. Thank you for the time. All right. You just want to use this very briefly, very quickly. Thank you so much. What, brothers and sisters, can we gain and ascertain from this particular matter, if we will? Right? Let's look at this real quick. Anikotabe, right? And we could say, meaning I am writing. And then we can say, brothers and sisters, the following. Ani koteib lak. I am writing to you. Or I am writing to you, masculine or feminine, whether you say laka or lak. All right. I am writing to you. Okay. That's what we wanted to point out in this particular case. Ani koteib, as brothers and sisters, we see over here. Ani koteib. That's why this particular slide right here becomes very important regarding conversation, because this laka, meaning to you or for you, is for the masculine, and lak is for the feminine. So if you a male speaking to a male, you would say to you as laka. If you a male speaking to a female, saying to you or for you, you would still say, brothers and sisters, the word lak. All right. So that's something, brothers and sisters, we want to point out for edification purposes. Okay. So let us, if we will, show this here again and review this particular presentation. OT means me, whether you are male or female. So, brothers and sisters, let us look at this. All right. So we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. We have here, brothers and sisters, the word here, OT. All right. And thank you for the timing with that. We always want to keep in mind, brothers and sisters, that Hebrew is easy. It's different, but it's not difficult. One of the things being a brother into the language that I, no disrespect intended, despise, is when people say, oh, well, it's easy for you. No, it's time that was put in. And we want to, brothers and sisters, give this time back, if we will, to the house of Yisrael. All right? We want to sit there and show how easy it is for us to grasp this kind of concept and so forth and so on. All right. So what do we see here? Hu roe ot. And it means what? He sees me. Now, brothers and sisters, whether you are male saying it or female saying it, you will still say hu roe ot. All right. And you can go on and say ata roe ot. You see me. Now, brothers and sisters, if you're speaking in the aspect, right, of feminine, you would say at. All right. And we want to show this for edification purposes. Ro'at, or you can actually also say at ro'a, either way. All right. Nonetheless, this still means you see. All right. Now, if you're saying, brothers and sisters, at ro'a or ro'at, ot, you're saying to a female, you see me. So that's why I just wanted to go over this real part real quick. And one or two brothers and sisters show this slide here, the ani, ata, and who. Ani, at, he. All right. Ani, ata, who. Ani, at, he. And how it's shown in the present tense with the verbs. Kotebet, ro'a, notenet, lomedet. Then we have, prior to that, koteb, ro'e, notain, lomed. All right. So these are things we just want to go over and show for reference purposes. Again, the two prepositions that must be known. Laka, meaning to you or for you. Then you have lak, meaning to you or for you. And that right there, brothers and sisters, we do want to write this part in, is the feminine. All right? These two pronouns must be known in order to converse accurately in the language. Okay? So if there's any questions, please feel free to put it in the comment section. This particular presentation was brought to you giving honor to the Most High, creator, maker of heaven and earth, on the Shabbat here, February 27th, 2021. If you dislike it, please put in the comments why you dislike it, out of respect. Work on this, do better there. I have no problem with constructive criticism. Okay? With that, I say Torah for the time. Shalom.